Okay, so I'm gonna be honest with you. Right now, I don't feel like doing YouTube voice because I have a fucking headache. But yeah, it was my first day of school. But that aside, today I want to talk about some of the girls' mons, specifically the three anti-relic ones. I will have a little bit to talk about that, generally affects the girls' mons overall. And I mainly want to talk about Ruri and Himeyuri, not so much Reika. But I do feel like people are underestimating the hell out of Reika nowadays. So I do still want to talk about her. But yeah, so she'll be the first one I talk about. So yeah, Reika, 120-second recharge time, massive damage to alien, zombie, 6,000 DPS, 48,000 HP, 450 range, 7-second attack frequency, da 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 da. 6 knockback count, 9 speed's not too bad, 450 range is pretty fucking good, 6k DPS is actually pretty good generally for this much range, and this amazing survivability, especially considering the recharge time is fairly average. Something a lot of people are turned away about is the multi-hit. I don't like it when people turn away multi-hit because it's basically just the same thing as Surge, except the range isn't so so wonky. Like just think of it as her base TPS is 3,000, but she has this level 2 Surge or level 1 Surge. Like that's basically the same thing as multi-hit if you think about it. As long as it's in the same area. But like it's so weird how people will love Surge and hate on multi-hit. Like it makes no sense. But what I will say is that massive damage against alien zombies gives this 24,000 DPS at level 30, by the way. With this kind of survivability, I don't get why nobody talks about her anymore. For some reason, people hate on her now. Or maybe not hate, but And then she also targets relics, so 18,000 DPS at level 30 against relics with this much range. I mean, she can shred an MMOS in like record time. Like she's doing amazing work because, especially since like her attack frequency isn't that quick. So like her DPS, it's because of high damage per hit. This is 60,000 in one hit against an MMOS. I want to look at something. I know it's probably not actually that much to be 60,000, but let's do some math here. So 10 knockbacks with this much. So you're basically... So yeah, you're getting a knockback per hit. Per full hit. You're getting a knockback per full hit. So yeah, multiply this by 3 and you get 120,000. And obviously I'm rounding. Well, you're close to getting a knockback every full hit. But considering most of the time the MOS won't actually have like its full knockback left over, you're probably gonna, if Reika's hitting an MOS, it's probably gonna get a knockback on it. Just saying. Especially since this is only level 30. Level it up to level 40 and 50 and you'll see much better stuff because she benefits from HP and damage alike. But she's not really the one I wanted to talk about. I mainly just wanted to talk about her multi-hit, but alien and zombie targeting is still really good. Plus, zombie killer as something that has good generalist damage, she's very good. Very good. I hate how people have stopped talking about her for no fucking reason. And then Ruri. Honestly, Queen Ruri is, in my opinion, the best relic tank. The best anti-relic and honestly anti-red tank. Specifically because of this. Look at this weekend. It's 100% uptime with a 100% chance. I don't remember. I think it's only on her third multi-hit. I think it's only on the actually damaging one where she can get the weekend, but still. And it is single targeting, don't get me wrong. So, like, I mean, but, like, chances are if you're weakening a red, it's going to be the front line. So, like, Berserk Quarry, a Boar, and stuff like that. And her attack frequency isn't very long, so if you miss, it's not that big of a deal, especially with her large amount of HP. So, resist against red four times, so that would be... Oh, I hate having to do math with my head in this condition, but in this condition, I just have a headache. So 500,000. She has 1,000,000 HP at level 30 with this low of a recharge time, which is really good, especially with this damage. Like, look at that damage. This is not a small amount of damage. And her range isn't bad either, but, like, I mainly like her because of the weaken, and of course, against a Relic, she does have a pretty good amount less damage, but her tanking niche comes in way more handy against Red than it does, or against Relic than it does Red. And not to mention, she's actually one of the few Monscales that have gotten recent attention with Ultra Talents. And so, speed up, I don't really think matters outside of, like, Relic B. So, Queen B, whatever. Immune to Freeze, is there a red that freezes? I don't even know. That one Otta, I guess. The one red Otter. But dodge. Having a 20% chance to dodge for 2 seconds? Honestly, just don't even get the full thing. Just get it for the 0.8 seconds. It doesn't make that big of a difference. The main good thing about dodge is that it allows you to have the chance to block any single attack. The length doesn't really matter that much on dodge unless you just really want the extra second. But getting 0.8 seconds from the first cost, which is probably like 100, 150, that's not bad. That's actually really good considering it's 20% throughout the entire thing. So you're basically giving her a lot of fucking HP against both Reds and Relics. Not to mention, damage is good generally. Like 11,000 DPS. I know multi-hit. Oh, everybody's so scared of multi-hit being bad. And recently I have talked about Momoko's multi-hit being weird. But to be fair, Momoko's multi-hit is simply exactly that. It's weird. This one's a little less weird because it doesn't have the weird-ass charge up on her on the last attack and whatever. But like, anyways, I'm not talking about Momoko right now. I'm talking about weekend. It's a good weekend. It's a good status. I need people to stop overlooking it, for the love of God. Anyway, Himeyuri. Himeyuri is probably one of the least used ones outside of her combo. She also got Ultra Talents, but they're not that good, unfortunately. I mean, is it even it's only a 50% chance for the mini surge. I mean, I guess it's a 3-hit multi-hit, so you'd probably get a couple multi. Honestly, now that I think about it, that would probably be pretty good. Not only would you be able to double down on your slows, but you would also be able to snipe some things with your slows. And target Relic, of course. But yeah, I mean, it's a 50% chance to slow for 6 seconds. Which may not sound like it's very good. But remember, 8-second attack frequency. Your last attack is 3.2 seconds. I'm fairly certain it goes to like the first attack. So like this, it's 8 seconds between the first attack of this and the next one. And so chances are you're going to basically get more than a 6 second, even without treasures. But with treasures, yeah, it's longer than 6 seconds against Floating and Angel. Against Relic, it's actually 6 seconds. But it'll feel like longer than 6 seconds if it's on the last hit, or the second to last hit of her multi-hit. You know what I mean? I know it's kind of hard to imagine, but like, whatever. You get what I mean, though, right? Since this attack, since the multi-hit delays the attack and like spreads the damage, it spreads the status as well. So the status, so like let's say you get a slow on the last hit and then you get a slow on the first hit. You're basically going to have 100% uptime on that. Just because, you know, timing. So you gotta get kind of lucky, since it is only a 50% chance. But considering it's a 3-hit multi-hit, this is one of those things where like people will shit on multi-hit for no reason, because in this case scenario it actually benefits. It largely benefits Himeyuri because her base DPS isn't actually that bad. I mean, multi-hit does make damage weird, but it benefits status 100%. Multi-hit, I don't think there's ever a time where multi-hit ruins a Pokemon. What the fuck am I on? A Battle Cat's status. And below average recharge time, good HP, really good survivability with 5 knockbacks, good speed, good general damage, good targeting as well. Slow against Floating and Angel is not something to overlook, not to mention the Relic targeting. Like, I feel like what all 3 of these have in common is that they're not talked about much whenever it comes to like the anti-Relic game. You know what I mean? Like, all 3 of them have been kind of abandoned. And that's also something else I want to talk about today, is that Monscales have kind of been abandoned. They have not gotten an Ultra form. They are still not in the fests. They are still not in plat tickets. Like, I feel like they're basically a mainline Uber banner, and yet they aren't like treated like a full-blown Uber banner. It's so weird, and I hate it. Because like I want to see like an Ultra form. Like honestly, a Queen Reika Ultra form would be kind of fucking nuts. You know what I mean? And I think they're all really good, like in a almost balanced way. You know what I mean? Like I do really like the Monster Gals. And I did this video because somebody wanted me to talk about the entire banner as a whole. However, I feel like talking to the entire banner as a whole would get kind of like overwhelming. It would be kind of long. It would be me just yapping about different things. I figured I would, you know, do the highlights because yes, there are other good Monscows like Vega. Vega's really good, but I don't want to talk about generalists. I want to talk about specialists. Kind of the same, kind of similar to Galaxy Gals. Mons Gals exceed in their specialist abilities. Like Reika does a lot of damage against alien, zombies, and relics. Two really good targetings. Aliens not so much, but zombies and relics plus having zombie killer and curse immunity. That's a really good combination to have, which is a combination that Vigler actually shares. And then Ruri having the ability to tank reds helps out with getting slime a lot. And tanking relics is something that not a lot of tanks can properly do. Especially since she weakens. She's one of the... I think she's the only, like, actually good anti-relic tank that weakens. Which can help support your team against things like Loki and... not Loris, really, but, like, there's a lot of relics in the game. There's a lot of relic bosses that you can use her on. And you know what I mean? Like, she'll live for a long time. Even in mixed stages, like, her base HP and survivability, like, her only 2 knockbacks, I mean, it's not a lot, but her HP is really good. And again, I think something that's overlooked about her is that her recharge time is actually really short. It's not even 100 seconds, which is really short, considering, like, average is 120. You know what I mean? So like 2 minutes compared to 100 seconds. I mean, that's 20 seconds shorter. On a tank where you want like them to be on screen the entire time or on the field, that's really valuable to have that shorter recharge time. So I think that's probably overlooked. Not to mention like her damage again. Like I do want to mention her damage. Like even though she has single targeting, thanks to her multi-hit, it doesn't really feel like she has multi-targeting. Or it doesn't feel like she has single hit. Oh, like thanks to her multi-hit, it doesn't feel like she has single attack. And so like, and her damages are still good. You know what I mean? Like, I do really like Ruri. And then Himeyuri, I've never actually used her, but she also has a research combo, which is really fucking good. This is really good. It's a research L. If you ever have Himeyuri, I'm sure you've used that as long as you have the combo like unlocked with the other units. But, like, that's not even... Like, I don't think that's why you should be using her. Like, I mean, in stages where there aren't floating angel or relics, yes, you'll probably be using her only for the research combo. But in stages where there's floating angels and relics, and/or, I guess, relics and all that, then that... In those stages, you're killing two birds with one stone. Not only are you destroying the stage with a really good status, but you're also getting a research combo. Like, from just looking at her stats, I can tell I would love using Himeyuri. And her ultra talents aren't terrible. Like I said before, mini surge on multi-hit is actually pretty good for her status, for a proc unit. And cost down, honestly, 750 cheaper. She would be $39.90, which is actually really good. That's as cheap as Kai. So yeah, it's like she would be really cheap then. But yeah, basically, Mons Gals all have really good survivability. They all have multi-hit. They all have most of them have really good specialist capability. And, you know, they all have relatively low recharge time. It's only relatively low, but like 120 seconds, like this is like one of the longer ones and it's barely over average, you know what I mean? And still zombie killers. Like, you know, I don't think they've gotten enough attention. That's basically what I'm making this video for. I don't think Mons Gals have gotten enough attention. And frankly, I think that these three are really good examples of like Mons Gals capabilities whenever it comes to like specialist value and like overall like their, you know, uniqueness in unit design. And I just love it. Because, like, I mean, not to mention they're pretty, you know what I mean? Like, Ruri, Reika, you know, Himeyuri. Like, these are, like, the classic Mons gals, almost. Like, I mean, Deal's also there, but, like, I've never really liked Deal. Maybe I'm just not a furry guy. But she also, like, knocks back, which is kind of a weird one. Because, like, sure, she juggles aliens and angels, but it's just weird. Like, I mean, she's good, don't get me wrong. But she just doesn't fit along with the amazing specialist value. Like, sure, she's good, kind of like Thunderjack, where like that knockback can be really good. These three have a niche that will almost always be good against their trait. So like, you know, it just works out that I also really like these three a lot. But I mean, give me more units to talk about. I'm running out of ideas whenever it comes to talking about Ubers, so honestly, tell me units to... Oh, I still need to talk about Radical Cat. I guess that's what I'm doing next, whenever I talk about units. But for now, if you did enjoy, please do come back for more. Maybe like the video while you're at it. And I will see you in the next one. Peace.